Om. Om. Shivam Shivam Shivasutan Shivabhaktan Shivadiman Asmad Acharya Paryantan Guruvaryan Natosmyaham. Shivaya Namaha. Welcome everyone. This is going to be an exploration of the beauty of goddess worship, especially during Navaratri. So we're going to discuss more about it. We're going to learn more about it. We're going to understand why this is special, how long this has been special, and what makes this special. From day after tomorrow in India, the 9 nights of the goddess, Navaratri, begins. Navaratri means the 9 nights. Nava is 9 and Ratri is nights. There are 4 of these occasions that happen in a year. There are 4 times that these 9 nights are celebrated, of which 2 are considered to be secret, in the sense that people who are initiated into a certain worship, they practice it privately. But the 2 other ones, we call it Vasanta Navaratri, and this one, the one that starts day after tomorrow, which is called Sharada Navaratri or Sharan Navaratri, which falls in the Ritu or the season of Sharat. So it's called Sharan Navaratri or Sharada Navaratri. And these 9 nights are celebrated to the goddess. What we commonly see these days is the topic about manifestation. Everyone talks about it, and thanks to internet, we have many cultures, many practices from many parts of the world talking about manifestation. What does the Eastern philosophy talk about manifestation? In the sense, I'm talking about manifestation where a desire becomes a reality. I'm not talking about manifestation in the sense setting a goal and achieving it. This is about a desire becoming a reality. This fruition is a very beautiful process, and the way we should understand manifestation when it comes to Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma is that many of the gods are manifestations. They are thoughts that become a reality and serve a purpose. So we have a deeper idea into manifestation. We are not talking about just a desire fulfillment. There's a beautiful saying in Tamil that says that, desire after fulfilled becomes boring after like 30 days. We're not talking about such temporary and desires based out of ignorance or just pure pleasure. We're talking about desires that are strong, that are permanent. It's funny we're talking about temporary and permanent thing as the first thing, because when it comes to worship, the Sanskrit word for worship, there are many words. We're going to choose the word sadhana. More like a tool, like an instrument. Sadhanam means a tool or an instrument. So sadhana is a way of worship. And the one who does sadhana, the one who worships, is called a sadhaka. In the way of worship, one of the ancient sages, a phenomenal soul named Adi Shankara, he mentions 4 qualities for a sadhaka. And in that, he talks about the first one, which is nitya vastu vivekaha. He talks about the one who worships, the one who is sitting, who is prepared, who is in the action of worship. And he talks about a very specific pathway, but let's talk about just worship. In the pathway of worship, the first eligibility is for the person to understand what is temporary and what is permanent. Nitya, Anitya. In the commentary, he talks even more about this. He's talking about not just temporary and permanent. He says the temporary is the lie or the illusion, and the permanent is the truth. So he says it's about the beautiful distinction or distinguishment about the lie or the illusion from the truth. So we're talking about manifestation that is divine, that is permanent, that is powerful, that is achievable. And I told you how gods are manifestations. I should give you one example. There's a video in YouTube that I posted during Ganesha Chaturthi. I spoke about how Ganesha was not born during Ganesha Chaturthi, but he was a manifestation. So this manifestation that we talk about is when Ganesha, who is in the form of a sound or in the form of an energy, with the effort of Parvati or the goddess Shakti, she gives him a form and invokes him through her mind, through her actions, and through her desire. She manifests Ganesha, and Ganesha comes into a reality. So Ganesha, it's not like Ganesha didn't exist before. You need to be very, very careful and aware that Ganesha wasn't born because of Parvati. Because we human beings, we think that a child does not exist and the mother gives birth to a child which is new, which is fresh, which is an evolution, or which is an offspring. Hence, the mother is a mother and the child is a child. This idea shouldn't exist with Ganesha and Parvati. We should not think that Parvati created Ganesha. She gets the sthanam or a designation of a mother, but she is not the one who created Ganesha. The one through whom Ganesha was manifested is how we need to understand Ganesha. Umanga Malajaya Namaha. The explanation for this gets more scholarly, so we're going to stop it there. So Ganesha was manifested. Similarly, we are in the topic of manifestation. We are in the topic of Navaratri, the 9 nights of the goddess, one of the most powerful time to worship goddess. We are talking about the pure Shakti or the energy that is capable of helping things happen in our lives, change our lives. So what do the Shastras or what do the scriptures talk about this? How will Shakti help manifest things? Navaratri, the 9 nights, is divided into 3. We have first 3 nights dedicated to a specific goddess or forms of goddesses. We have the second nights, the second set of 3 nights. And the third set of 3 nights are dedicated to another set of goddesses who have to be under a certain form. So we have 3 sets of goddesses. Navaratri is divided into 3. This 3, numerology isn't a part of astrology or Vedic culture, but the science of number, the Sankhya, is a very big study. It's a very scientific thing. So Sankhya, when we talk about numbers, 3 and 9 are very, very powerful numbers. So 3 sets of 3 nights makes this Navaratri. The reason this comes this way, we can date this back to very ancient scriptures where Lord Shiva himself mentions worship 3 goddesses during Navaratri. So the way it was interpreted was, we have to worship every goddess for a certain number of times. So they multiplied 3 into 3 and brought back Navaratri. Or they divided Navaratri into 3 and came to 3 days of certain goddess worship. Shiva mentions Durgam Lakshmim cha Bharatim. He says, worship Durga, Lakshmi, and Bharati, in the sense Saraswati. He mentions worship three of these goddesses during Navaratri. So the way our ancestors interpreted that was, okay, 3 nights for Durga, 3 nights for Lakshmi, and 3 nights for Saraswati. Some people or some sages manifested or interpreted this as 9 nights of Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati together. So that's another practice that happens as well. Coming back to manifestation, coming back to the 3 nights. What is the process of manifestation, and why is it important to understand the 3 set of worships or 3 goddesses during Navaratri? A very important topic, and I please request you to lend me your ears. Let's now dissect manifestation. Manifestation is having a desire, gaining knowledge about it, and performing the right actions that helps create that or help make that a reality. So 3 important factors. We have desire or the thought. Let's call the thought a desire here because there is an intention behind that thought. So we have to call it with the intention. So a desire, and then comes the 2 requirements, which is the thoughts or the knowledge about it, and then the right action to help make it happen. The scriptures talk of these 3 important factors to manifest as Shakti, as energy. What do they call it? The desire is called Ichha Shakti. The knowledge that is required to manifest is called Jnana Shakti. And then the right actions that need to be performed is called Kriya Shakti. So Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. The moment I say this, people who are familiar with goddess worship will understand that these 3 words come very often in goddess worship. We find this in Lalita Sahasranamam a lot. Ichha Jnana Kriya Shakti. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. We call her that. This is even common in Muruga worship. Ichha Jnana Kriya Shakti Rupa Shakti Dharam Bhaje. We call Muruga that as well. So the 3 important factors to manifest are 3 goddesses. Let's go one by one. Okay, now I have a desire. What is the source of the desire? The source of a desire could be a temporary need or want, or a goal that has been set a long time ago. Let's say a father's wish or a grandparent's wish. It could be someone's wish, or it could be a temporary need or a want, or something based out of someone else's desire. And here comes the commonly used word in Dharma or in India, karma. So this desire will come with a lot of karma along with it. Karma in the sense, we believe in reincarnation. This desire could be based out of some past life action or a consequence of an action performed in past lives of our own self or anyone around us. The problem with that is it's a never-ending cycle. The once karma starts to act out, we call it Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agami. The moment karma becomes the desire and we start to work on it and make it a reality, then we start a cycle that never ends. It will be completion of a desire or a manifestation of a desire that becomes the source of another manifestation, another manifestation, another manifestation, and the cycle never ends. So that is one of the reasons why before you take a sankalpa, let us say before you take a goal or a desire that you truly want to manifest, let us say career or relationship or health or success over a legal case, a legal issue, or an enmity or anyone, any of these prayers, any of these desires that you truly want to manifest, you want to manifest peace, you want to manifest victory. You want to manifest accomplishment. You're a person who constantly thinks that, I study everything, but the moment I go to the examination or the moment I sit in front of an interviewer, I forget everything. Or I am not giving my 100%. So, these kinds of desires, these kinds of thoughts, the first thing is to filter them out and to cleanse them and purify them, that they don't hold any karma, that the cycle begins. How do you do that? You worship Mahalakshmi for that. Mahalakshmi worship helps in establishing the perfect desire that you want to truly manifest. Mahalakshmi, the word Lakshmi and the word Lakshya comes from the same root verb. So the beauty is that Mahalakshmi helps to remove all the for a lack of better word, for a lack of contamination that comes with that pure desire of yours. She helps establishing the desire perfectly. So the first thing to do is to make sure that the desire doesn't start a karmic cycle. The second one is for the desire to not affect anyone. And that's a very common thing. And that's why the idea of justice or dharma is always a controversial and a very, very complicated thing. One person's happiness could be another person's sadness. There has to be a balance. So, the worship of Mahalakshmi helps to bring in clarity, to bring in that divinity within that desire, that it makes sure that it doesn't create a karmic cycle, it doesn't harm anyone, create a karma for anyone else, and establish a clear, concise, and a divine desire. Then it gets the name Ichha. That sankalpa, that thought you have, becomes Ichha. Then the next process begins. Then is to obtain the knowledge about it. The problem with desires is that the moment you have desire, the mind goes on to a rush. You start researching about everything. You start understanding what everything means when it comes to the fulfillment of this desire. The moment your mind runs towards gaining that knowledge, what happens is that a lot of confusion comes. A lot of doubts come into your mind. There is a specific term in Sanskrit that talks of people who start very aggressively and then leave things midway. So consistency is a requirement, is a need to accomplish things, to manifest. So the knowledge part is one of the most important part. And there comes the worship of Saraswati. Saraswati, again, she is not just the goddess of knowledge. She is the goddess of all parts of the knowledge that is required for you to accomplish things. What are the things? One is gaining the knowledge or knowing things. The second one is to distinguish what is good from the bad. This is called Medha. Medha helps distinguish good from the bad. And that's a hard choice to make. That's where a lot of people make the mistakes. We all have choices. And we need to make the right choice. So Saraswati worship helps to make the right choice. And then what happens? And then that clarity needs to kick in at the right time, at a moment of sadness, at a moment of panic, at a moment of despair. The right memory needs to kick in, and that is called dharana. Dharana is memorization, but it also means recollection. So the wisdom that you have gained, the knowledge that is pure and divine, needs to kick in at the right time, and that's where dharana shakti comes. Saraswati is the goddess of dharana as well. So gaining the knowledge, distinguishing the good from the bad, gaining only the needful wisdom, and then getting Saraswati's blessings to have that clarity kick in at the right time. So once you master this, then comes action. The beauty of the action is that the action it's not just about doing the right thing. It's also about doing the right thing constantly. That consistency is required for you to help manifest things. There comes the goddess of action or strategy, that is Durga. The worship of Durga is the most important factor here, because Durga, so there's a very common doubt amongst people. They say that, because there's a choice, and let us say someone wants success. Success, any god can bless with success. But people go with, okay, I want this success towards enmity, or I want negativity to be removed, or legal case to be resolved, or let's say something very specific that has to do with legal issues or enmity or conflict, quarrel, issues at work, politics at work, which is way more common. So any of those things, when that problem arises, and when people want to perform a ritual for that, they get the choice. They ask, should I worship Pratyangira? Should I worship Kali? Should I worship Durga? Should I worship Chandi? Because there are so many choices here, and which choice would be the best? And astrologers, depending upon the need and the planetary position, suggest certain rituals. And then people, Chandi Homa is really expensive, so people think about it twice and then perform a Durga Homa for now, and then perform the Chandi Homa later. So all of that thought comes in. So, the right action. The reason Durga, Shiva himself mentions goddess Durga in the worship of Navaratri and in the worship of knowledge. The reason Durga is mentioned is because the goddess Durga, who is also called Chandi, who is also called Mahalakshmi Chandika, who is also called Chamunda, this goddess Durga is a goddess of strategy. Strategic wisdom and strategic actions are required for you to succeed faster, in an efficient way, and an assured success way. If you need assurance in success, if you need not a shortcut, I'm not talking about a magical shortcut way of success. I'm talking about strategy to get things accomplished fast, and that would be Durga Parameshwari. We hear this from the scriptures itself. Kopecha Kali. There's no goddess like Kali when it comes to pure brute force and fierceness. She is that pure anger of Shiva. Kali is all about anger. Kamakala Kali is the pure manifestation of love. We'll keep that talk for another time. But Kali, in her natural form, we call her Adya Kali. Adya Kali in the sense primordial Kali. She is the one who is along with Shiva. A lot of people in scriptures call her the female version of Shiva, which is purely anger. And I'm talking about anger that is aggressive. Adya Kali. That goddess is pure brute force. Now, Kali is anger, but you don't want anger here. Samarecha Durga. For victory over dispute, Durga is the goddess. The reason Durga is mentioned is that Durga, as a goddess, and we're talking about goddess as an embodiment of certain things, because that's the reason we have different forms of gods and goddesses, right? So, Durga is a goddess of strategy. She helps you accomplish things in the right way, use the right strategy, and win it. Kali is just smashing everything and helping you move forward. But Durga helps you in a very strategic way to accomplish whatever you want. So, Durga worship is mentioned for the fulfillment of the action. So let's go through this again. Desire, knowledge, and action. Ichha, jnana, kriya. Ichha Shakti is Mahalakshmi helps clarify or helps cleanse the desire, bring clarity over the desire. Saraswati helps gain all the knowledge, remove all the doubts and the fear and the confusion, helps distinguish the good from the bad or the temporary from the permanent, also helps gain memory for the right thought, the right strategy to kick in at the right time. And then we have Durga. Durga Parameshwari is the goddess of strategic actions for you to win over any dispute. Ichha, Jnana, Kriya Shakti. And this Ichha, Jnana, Kriya Shakti together is worshipped as many goddesses. Lalita Parameshwari is one. Lalita is considered to be that pure Shakti. Kameshwari and Kameshwara together is called Lalita Parameshwari. Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini Lalita. So Lalita Parameshwari is Shiva and Shakti together, and she is also Ichha Jnana Kriya Shakti Swarupini. And then we have Chandika Parameshwari. Chandika Parameshwari is a goddess that we worship at Shivashri. At our altar we have Mahalakshmi Chandika as the goddess that I helped manifest after 15 years. I have her now with me for worship, which I consider to be a blessing as well. So Mahalakshmi Chandika or Chandi, she is a combination of Ichha Jnana Kriya Shakti, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. So the manifestation process, we have clarity over that. Ichha, Jnana, Kriya, desire, knowledge, and action. And we know the goddesses as well. What's with Navaratri and manifestation? Sharan Navaratri, or this Navaratri that we're about to celebrate from day after tomorrow in India, is 9 nights of manifestation. And how do we know this? The 10th day is called Vijaya Dashami, in the sense victory. So we're going through 9 days of certain process, and on the 10th day we achieve that. This Navaratri is divided into 3, as I mentioned earlier, but the process becomes jumbled. It is not desire, knowledge, and action, but it is action, desire, and knowledge. The first 3 days it is celebrated towards Mahakali or Durga. The second 3 nights are celebrated towards Mahalakshmi. Then the third 3 nights are celebrated as Saraswati, the 3 nights of wisdom and knowledge, and the 10th day is celebrated as success. The reason this way, the worship is created this way, is because the sequence of worship for goddess, especially during Sharan Navaratri as Durga Parameshwari or as Chandika Parameshwari, the divisions is Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. Shiva himself mentions Durgam, Lakshmim cha Bharatim. The sequence is mentioned in the scriptures. So the scriptures are the 3 nights, or the process could be jumbled, but the result is going to be the same, which is victory. So this Navaratri, it is the perfect time for you to manifest. And I sincerely mean this. And I take this opportunity to give you a testimonial all by myself, because I stand here as an example of manifestation during Navaratri. I used to serve an organization of which I had to quit. And then I used to serve a temple, and then I quit serving that temple. Once I quit serving that temple for some medical reasons, I had 2 or 3 surgeries, and I had to go through a rough patch, and I didn't have money at that time. And it was during Navaratri that I made a prayer. I chanted a specific mantra, which is called Durga Saptashati or Devi Mahatmyam of the goddess. And I personally believe it is during my worship during Navaratri helped me find the founder of Shivashri. His name is Shiva Yogi. That is his initiation name, Diksha name. His real name is different, but he goes by Shiva Yogi. I met Shiva Yogi after Navaratri, and I sincerely believe that Shivashri as an establishment, my life as a proof, all happened after my 9 days of worship of Navaratri, and here we have established. Shiva Yogi himself has had so much trust in me that he has established such a beautiful altar. This altar that is behind me, I have it blurred for a reason. You'll get to see it. Many of you might have already seen it, but you'll get to see it during Navaratri. This altar was personally handmade by a craftsman, a fantastic craftsman from Rajasthan. We designed this and we had this altar made. And every tool that we are using for the rituals, they're all made out of silver. You're also looking at a silver altar right behind me where we'll have the goddess worship happen. And all the rituals happen at Shivashri. Every single tool we have, every single one, were went, sought out, made sure that it was the highest quality, pure silver, pretty expensive, but still pure silver, and we have it. So the whole inventory, when it comes to tools and everything worship here at Shivashri, it is of the highest quality that I have done. In my short life of existence, it is just after I started serving Shivashri that I have had the access to touch such real high quality tools. And we have it. The one that we used to pour clarified butter or ghee into the fire, that tool in itself is a magnificent. The moment you touch it, you feel that it is a royal ritual. Every offering made makes you feel it. I experience it. I enjoy using these tools because I don't think even anyone in my generation, anyone from my ancestors, has touched any of these tools. And I mean it sincerely. They're all very high quality tools, and we get to perform these rituals. And I believe it was right after I got to buy my Chandika Parameshwari statue as well. The goddess statue that we have, it is the exact replica of my guru. The guru, I have had multiple gurus. My guru who initiated me with goddess worship, with Navakshari mantra, etc., he's passed away. He's attained Shiva Lokam already, Shiva. And that guru of mine had a very similar statue, and he told me how to get one, what would be the right way to make a statue similar to what he has. And I got to manifest a beautiful statue of Chandika Parameshwari, extremely beautiful, that I consider to be very close to my heart. And we have her. That was right after Navaratri. And when I say that I had my rough patch, it was in multiple ways, financially, health-wise, and in so many other ways. I had the most challenging times of my life, and I got to jump back real strong. And here we are celebrating, performing rituals of the highest quality. And I sincerely believe that you can change your life, and Navaratri could be the most powerful time for your life to change and for you to experience such a miraculous life. I never thought that I would be using silver tools for a ritual. Never. And here we have it. So make use of this Navaratri, and we want to give you an opportunity to experience the magic of the goddess during Navaratri. So every day, throughout Navaratri, for the 10 days, we will be performing a puja to the goddess, the morning rituals in India. I'm talking about Indian times here, by the way. So the morning rituals are dedicated to the founder of Shivashri, Shiva Yogi, to himself. This is his ritual, so this is his altar. So he has commanded the rituals to happen for him. So the morning rituals will be happening for the founder, Shiva Yogi. And then in the evening, Indian time at around 6 o'clock, we will have a live celebration of the goddess in the evening throughout Navaratri. And every day we will worship a specific goddess. We have a list of goddesses based on many other factors. We have Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, as I mentioned, obviously, but forms of Durga, forms of Lakshmi, and forms of Saraswati have been personally chosen to fit Navaratri in a perfect way. So we will have an everyday worship throughout Navaratri to specific goddesses, and the founder wants me to give you a small gift. So the gift is going to be every day you will receive a mantra that is immensely precious. So if you want to gain access to a mantra, you can consider mantra not as a tool, not as an instrument, not just as a mere sound. You can consider mantra as a form of the goddess you're worshiping, or a form of the desire that you want to accomplish. Connect an emotion with the mantra, and that gift will be given to you every day. And we will chant that mantra together for 11 times. And every day we'll have a puja, mantra chanting. Along with it, there will be meditation as well. And then we'll learn a little bit more about that specific goddess, that ritual, and all about the goddess. So Navaratri is going to be a truly adventurous time to celebrate the goddess. So we welcome you for a very beautiful Navaratri to celebrate with us here at Shivashri. Feel free to participate. This is a free participation. And all I request you to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure that the moment you receive the notification that we are live, for you to watch it. And if you want to watch the video, we'll keep it live. We'll not delete the video. We'll not make it private. The video will stay there. If you want to watch the video later on, I request you to please make sure that you watch it at the right time. Be prepared in the sense after a bath and when you're comfortable, not when you're on the bed. Make sure you're seated. Make sure you're not eating. Make sure you are in a very isolated space to give the respect to the ritual, which it truly deserves. And make sure that you watch it with utmost devotion and focus. We're going to have a beautiful Navaratri celebration this year. We welcome you. I thank Shiva Yogi, the founder of Shivashri, with all my heart, my complete pranams to him, to have this public view or a live participation of people during Navaratri, for him to gift it. I consider it to be a great gift, and for this to happen. And I sincerely pray that all your desires come true. Make sure that the desires are cleansed, and make sure that you have complete clarity over them, gain the wisdom, and perform the right actions to achieve it. And I promise you, you will achieve it. Because with the blessings of the goddess, there is, no matter what desire it is, it will be achieved. Yatrasti bhogaha na cha tatra mokshaha. Wherever there is materialistic desires, there cannot be desires about liberation or enlightenment. And whenever there is a prayer or a worship or an action towards enlightenment, there cannot be any materialistic desires, right? That's wrong. Shri Sundari Sevana Tatparanam Bhogascha Mokshascha Karastha Eva. If you worship the goddess, the ones who are experts at goddess worship, Tatparanam, in the sense someone who are experts at goddess worship, who worships the goddess with bhakti, with devotion, with sincerity, with discipline, and in a delightful way. The moment you worship, there needs to be a smile that normally blossoms in your beautiful face. Shouldn't be forced. The moment you start a worship, your face should smile. And that's the love that manifests on your face. So the moment you learn or you practice this beautiful goddess worship, you can achieve materialistic desires and enlightenment. It doesn't become two different things, it becomes one thing. Bhogascha mokshascha karastha eva. The sense, the goddess comes and gives it to you like a prasadam right on your palms, on top of your hand. You don't have to seek it. It'll be given to you. So may the goddess shower her blessings upon you, and may this Navaratri be the life-changing event for you and your loved ones. Please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure that you invite your loved ones to be a part of this journey. There is no discrimination here. Anyone can be a part of this worship, and there is no payment here. So all we request you is to come with utmost devotion, with utmost clarity, and as a community, I wish for everyone to respect and love each other, and we want to create a beautiful, loving, and a very devoted community that has the right tools, the right knowledge. We are going by the scriptures, so you can double check it. You can make sure that everything we say, every worship that we do, every mantra is of the highest quality. And you can invite your loved ones to be a part of this celebration, and may the goddess shower her blessings upon you and your loved ones. So welcome to Navaratri celebrations. We begin on the 3rd of October at 6 p.m. India time. I'll start creating the events from now, so you'll get to see them, and you can wait and get the notification for all of the events that will be happening throughout Navaratri. Tomorrow it is Mahalaya Paksha. It is the most powerful new moon to worship the ancestors, the ones who have passed away. So if you don't know how to do a tarpanam, if you don't know how to do the rituals, don't worry about it. All I request you to do is go and feed as many people and as many animals and birds as you can. It could be 2 handfuls of rice for birds. It could be a lot of food for dogs or cats or cows or whatever animal that you find to be close to you, who are who are deserving of food. Everyone is, but someone that you can provide truly. Please go and give away food tomorrow. The important thing is, before you do the feeding, the foot feeding, the distribution of food, make sure that you set the intention. This is to please all the souls who are in need of this. This food, the happiness that this food creates, should help the deceased souls to attain peace. And that should be the intention. Make sure that you set it before you distribute the food. The happiness and the fulfillment that this food provides to all the human beings, the animals, the birds, everyone, that happiness should bring peace and happiness to these deceased souls. So set that intention, give away food, and enjoy a beautiful new moon, Mahalaya Amavasya, and then Navaratri begins. We'll talk about what are the needed disciplines for Navaratri, and we are also going to talk about what are the different ways of worship during Navaratri, but that's going to happen during the ritual. We're not going to bombard you or overload you with information this time. So please feel free to join during Navaratri rituals. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to celebrate. There's so much to sing. There's so much to love. So please make sure that you're a part of the celebrations, and may the goddess shower her blessings upon you. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being here, and may the goddess bless you always. Shiva. Thank you. Shiva.